Hey YouTube, it's Void here. I wanted to bring you the first installment of many for future designs or tutorials. The first one that I wanted to tackle was going to be rotoscoping of images, even more of the complex variety that I'm about to show you. So this was one of the things that I got asked most about was how do you actually do a proper rotoscope of an image so that way you can edit it. So first off, what rotoscoping is basically taking an image that has some sort of background already and cutting it out. This is usually called rendering or whatever else in Photoshop language that I've seen. There used to be like a website called Render Planet or something like that many years ago, and they would do stuff like this, especially for popular like game characters or anime characters. And typically what people would do is they would cut out an image and then put their tag like this person has right here. And having a rendered image basically allows you to have any sort of background replaceable with your image. So if I wanted, I could just, make a new layer right here and then just, make the background green if I wanted, and it doesn't interfere with this image itself. Now I wanted to take it one step further with a image such as this. So when you're dealing with real life subjects that have, a lot of hair or, smooth edges like, around their skin, stuff like that. So I wanted to take an image that was very hard to do, essentially. And there are a lot of different methods that you could go about, rendering an image out where, if you're doing something of a subject sort of like where Luffy just was, where it's a lot of straight edges and everything else like that, you could typically use, like the pen tool and just, sort of go around the outside of the actual image and, just sort of cut them out, figure out, where the bends and twists are and go from there. But not going to be doing that today. This is going to be more the shorter side where we're using the refine edge tool. So what I like to do is I just like to take my quick selection tool and then we're just going to simply select our subject, and you don't have to get all the hair or anything else like that because the refine edge tool is actually going to help out with a lot of that. So I'm just going to quickly speed this up so that way I can show you guys the full image once it's done. Alright, so this is the image fully selected, or well, the majority of what I would like selected. Again, like I said, you don't have to go through and get, all the hair or anything else like that. Refine Edge is going to do most of the work for it. If you want, you can do sort of like what I'm doing right here, where you just sort of try and gather a little bit more. But like what keeps happening right now is I try to select something, more image tries to, go inside of it. So once you got everything selected, you're going to want to go ahead and hit Refine Edge. I like to do a black on white, so that way you can see sort of the image that it's actually outlining. Now as you can see, it's already basically cutting out the whole image where you can see all the fringed hair, everything else like that. If you want, you can take Smart Radius. This will get rid of some of the more like opaque areas. So like right around here where her legs are, it's not going to be as opaque. There could be some that does end up happening still, but you can just mess around with that using your radius tool up here. So the lower it is, it's not going to capture as much, but if I have this select, bumped up, it's going to capture more of that hair. You can smooth out the edges if you want, or keep them as sharp as you need. Or the more smooth that you do, the edges are going to be obviously smoother, but it's sometimes not going to always turn out the best. Feathering, you can make the loose ends feathered depending on how you want it to be, but again, the more that you feather, your edges are going to be more transparent, so depending on where you're going to be putting your subject is going to heavily rely on how you've transferred it yourself. So I like to try and keep feathering down to a minimum, maybe just like a smidge here or there, just so that way the edges aren't so sharp. Contrast will get rid of a lot of the black and make them more sharp. And then, you know, if you wanted to go around your boundaries that you did, you can shift your edge so that way it's including more or less of the actual subject. And then typically afterwards, if you want, you can decontaminate the colors. I don't know why, maybe for certain images you could. I typically keep that off. And then just outputting, I just typically output to a new layer. And once that's all done, there's your image. Like I said, down here, like I said, you're gonna see some like opacity coming through. If you want, you could just go through, take this, take that, and you know, if I wanted, do a color overlay of the actual image itself, and I could go through and, you know, erase this bit right here, then connect them, and you know, you can go into more details about it, but pretty much if you look at her hair, you know, it pretty much matches up to what it would be. Yeah, you're losing some of the, you know, fringes going up here, but again, that's all more down to going through and actually fine-tuning your settings. This is just more of a quick tutorial to show you guys how you can use the Refine Edge tool to, you know, rotoscope or render your images. Hope you've enjoyed. If you guys can, please leave a comment down below of some future tutorials you would like to see. Remember to hit the bell, you know, subscribe, like, comment, all that fun jazz. Till then, I will see you guys in the next video.